Okay, so I don't know how to start this video. I need content to post because my next big video is taking a little bit. So I went ahead and just asked you guys for some Sonic hot takes, and a lot of you responded. So me and my friend Claire here are gonna read them and talk about them.
Yeah, you needed to put food on the table, so this is the way to do it. Simple as that.
Yeah. From Nicholas Bodo, 4327. Eggman is written as more intimidating in comics to overcompensate for how he gets upstaged in the games.
Yeah,
This is just
probably.
a conspiracy theory.
I mean, it's probably. I think an aspect is because like they can write him a lot. Like they can write a lot darker. I think in the comic, so it's like I always think of the way they draw him, where it's like he's like obscured in shadow to make him look intimidating. While in the games, they kind of can't do that without it looking kind of goofy. But
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like it. It's kind of just true. They do write him a lot actually a threat. I think because the comics can get a little more darker than Frontiers can.
Yeah. The Fiction Nerdy says, I think Surge is a better rival in parallel to Sonic than Shadow is. Shadow, honestly, is not his rival anymore. I think this is a hot take, and I think it's also pretty correct. I think Shadow, like with most of the Sonic rivals, they kind of slowly move away from being a proper rival to Sonic as their
Well,
characters develop more.
they do the Dragon Ball thing where originally Tien's Goku's rival. Now he's not. Oh, Vegeta's Goku's rival. Now he's not. Piccolo was his rival. Now he's not. That's like kind of what Shadow is. Shadow is just the Piccolo to be upstaged like by Surge, I think. But like I don't know.
I
Maybe I it depends
I
on how they
think
keep writing Surge because from what we've seen, like they're gonna do more with her, but like that's gonna be in 2035. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I know Sega really wants the whole Sonic and Shadow Goku Vegeta thing, but it just doesn't work. It's just
Yeah.
like
I mean that's a
it's just not the same.
yeah. I mean that's like a different topic, but yeah, like it's frustrating.
Z Emperor, when written correctly, the Zeti can actually be really entertaining villains.
True. I like Zavok a
Yeah,
lot, and they're fun in the DC crossover.
I think they're fine. I do think they need to expand on them, and I do think they could use with for a redesign. I think the redesign is going to make it hard for the average audience to get invested in them. Really,
I think the only one who most people like is like design wise is Zavok. I think the others do kind of need us like even just some small changes. But like they've grown on me more than I thought they ever would.
yeah. Next is the Avatar system in Forces was ingenious. In a fandom known for making OCs, why not give them the ability to put them in game?
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
I really disagree with this. I think the avatar system, like I think considering what it takes away from the game in order to exist, because I think I think like the gameplay got getting split up between like Sonic and the Avatar and classic Sonic really like drained the resources that the game had,
to
and I
be
also think
fair,
that like story
classic
wise,
classic Sonic could just not be there, and that the nothing would change. So I don't completely blame the OC character for that. Like I think if like having it split between two is fine. Um, I don't know. I don't hate the idea of the character creator. I just think that like it's fine. It's just kind of weird, especially for this like huge monumental release like they wanted the game to be. Like it's kind of like why would you want to play it as this guy instead of Sonic or someone or like a character that I've not played as in a while. Like if they had
I
Silver or
also feel
Shadow.
like I don't know. I feel like the OC creator doesn't really let you do anything like really creative or interesting with the OCs.
No,
It's really only there for fan service, it
it's
feels
just
like.
here's one of these three animals. Now you can put them in a scarf. It's like okay, thanks, I guess.
I think it was a mistake to have Blaze be introduced with Silver instead of creating a new character to be Silver's companion for '06. '06 had more of an effect on her character than Silver's even after all these years. This is a weirdly phrased one because she wasn't introduced with Silver. That's not what happened. She was introduced in Rush, and then she was also in '06.
I think they
So
mean there was a mistake to have Blaze's like because Blaze is only in handheld games, and like her first console release was with
her
Silver.
console introduction, yeah,
Uh,
that makes sense. I was a little confused, but like I think this is just super true. It is actually crazy. This is like it has actually had more of an effect on Blaze's character than Silver's. years
Mm-hmm.
later. I could talk about this for forever, but I think this is a decently hot take, and I think it's 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have a few from Godification. One, Knuckles deserves to act like a rival more often.
True.
I I think it's I kind of think that Knuckles and Sonic have like become close enough that I don't see them as like typical rivals. I think I would like to see them be competitive with
I
each other
I
more often because
I
that's
think that like that's more where it's like have him be active in the story because he's just like barely in at this point, and like I just think Knuckles needs more stuff. Honestly, like
yeah. Roger's voice is good, and while Jason's was also good, people give Roger shit solely because they want Jason back and not because he's actually bad for the role. 100% true.
I think one aspect is I think the voice direction for Roger is bad sometimes. When Roger does good voice work, he does fucking incredible voice work. It's just that the people who do the like voice directing for Sonic are like deaf. Like they just don't know what they're doing. And like it's insane cuz like I think they have an all-star cast of voice actors in like Crossworlds for example, but like half of them give horrible like not even horrible performances, but it just sounds so it sounds like you're saying it in a booth instead of like what the character should sound like because the voice direction is just so poor in that in like recent games.
Yeah,
um
it's very much a mixed bag. I remember someone pointed out that like one of the things that's really weird about Crossworlds is that you could actually tell there are points where the voice actors are doing like different takes on their character.
mhm
Like, someone pointed out with Amy a lot, and I think that was like well, that was probably the actor and the voice director like trying different stuff to find something that worked, and they just used all of it, which
mhm
is a bit of a weird decision. So I don't know what point in the chain of command maybe the voice director is doing something that like someone higher up wants them to do or like whatever. Like I don't know exactly what point, like what link in the chain is weak. Maybe it's all just like a few issues here and there that like cascade down. But it's
mhm
just like I definitely think a more consistent direction would help if that makes sense.
yeah.
Next, Metal Sonic deserves more representation as Sonic's first and original rival, and their dynamic is the one that fits the role the best.
Well, was he the first? Because I guess Knuckles would be the
Sonic
first.
CD was first, yeah.
Well, is Sonic CD before 3? I thought it was after.
Yes.
Okay.
It was developed at the same time as Sonic 2.
Okay. I just think Metal just needs more shit. He's just like the last time he was cool was um the beginning of IDW, I guess.
Yeah.
He's okay in the Surge fight, but that's it really. He's barely in the damn series at this point. So he just needs more stuff. But yeah, I mean, I just he's kind of like Knuckles. Even if they don't do the rival thing like hardcore, just give him more shit to do. He just needs to be in the series more.
This person had two takes about Sonic Rivals. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Also,
there's
the
two of
final
those
one,
games.
people give the. Sorry, what?
I said there's two of the games, so yeah.
People give the IDW comic shit mostly because they're not Archie rather than for actual reasons.
True.
I don't think it's just because they're not Archie. I think it's also for other stupid reasons.
I think
But, like,
I
it
think
is
that's an
true.
aspect. I think that's an aspect. Like I think a big aspect is people who really like Silver hate IDW, and there's a reason for that. People who like, really really like stuff from like the end of Archie hate IDW because it's not that, but it's like, well, my bad. I don't hate something for what it's not. Like hate it for aspects that it actually does poorly. But
All right, next, Infinite needs to come back. He has potential to be a very good antagonist slash villain. And another one is I like Chris from Sonic X.
you've not seen Sonic X, so I've seen it. I think Chris is fine. He's just kind of average. But I think a lot of people. It's kind of like the Navi thing, where when one YouTuber made a joke about it enough, it became public zeitgeist that he's insufferable. But he's fine. He's just the average, like, kind of whatever anime main character for those types of series.
He just didn't need to exist, is the thing.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you could say that about a lot of characters in the series, and they do. So he's fine.
Yeah, that's true. As
And
for
then-
Infinite, I don't think he needs to come back. I think they could do something with him. Like
I
the thing is,
think-
I don't think that something having potential means that it needs to come back. You know?
I just think he needs to come back in the fact of like he's so fucked up in his own game. He just like give him something. Like if you made me
He was
like the Zeddy,
mischaracterized in his first game. How do you do that?
like if you make me like the Zeddy, you can make Infinite cool. You just need something.
Next, Knuckles is the most overlooked character in the main cast. He has so much depth, lore, supporting characters, yet he's often seen as just another one of Sonic's friends. He is Sonic's thematic opposite and equal. He is up there with Shadow with how much he has going for him. And yet he never gets to be the main character of his own story. He was mischaracterized and disregarded for almost 2 decades. I almost said 20 years, which is the same thing. He isn't even my top 5 favorite, but I've come to appreciate him in recent years and grown frustrated by how dirty he's often done. I agree with a lot of this. I think it. I think all of the Sonic rivals are in some way Sonic's thematic opposite and equal, but like Knuckles has been extremely overlooked.
It's such a like you can see this very clearly from like people fucking adored Knuckles in the Sonic movie. I think that's one of his best portrayals. And like you're like, all right, where can I see him being cool other than the movie? And it's like crickets. It's like he's just not important to the series anymore. And it's like he's Piccolo. He's like Piccolo. Everyone loves Piccolo, but he doesn't get shit. Everyone loves Knuckles. He doesn't get shit. Like when he's cool, you're popping off. But that's that's the crumbs you've been eating after years of starving. Like
The Sonic franchise is in need of a new villain or antagonistic force, which is present in more than just a single game with a lasting presence. Eggman as a villain is becoming a repetitive formula. He has already been portrayed as a comical villain, dangerous psychopath, and so more in various appearances.
it's crazy. That's just what they're doing with the Zeddy. As much as like hate him or not, that's what they're doing with the Zeddy. They've chosen.
We need someone beyond just Eggman and the Zeddy. We need a bit more.
We
say
heard
that they
you.
might be bringing Starline back specifically
Probably.
because he was like one of the most popular villains that they've made in a while, and people think they may regret killing him off so soon.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I do like it's like the thing. It's like, oh man, I really hope Sonic gives us new villains. You have the Zeddy. I really hope they give us new villains.
Yeah.
Like anyone else really, but that's what they're at least Zavok's cool, but yeah, that's what they're doing. They chose the Zeddy as their consistent villains over like anyone else.
What a weird choice. Like
It's like if Mario was like, all right, guys, we brought back all right, we need someone who's not King Boo. We don't, we only want him in one game. Who do we bring back? Everyone's favorite iconic villain, King Ba-Bomb. It's like, thanks, awesome. That's exactly what we were looking for with a new villain.
if they do end up doing another Shadow game, they need to let him interact with characters beyond Sonic and Rouge. It's so boring they can only have meaningful conversation with those two, excluding the dead, of course.
True.
Hey, he gets to talk to Omega.
I don't know if that's meaningful. It's more just like Omega saying, I want you to kill this thing, and Shadow going, okay.
In general, I want to see the Sonic cast interact with each other more than just the ones that they get bunched up into,
excluding Sonic. I just want to I want to see Rouge and Knuckles talk because they are the biggest part of.
How has that not happened in so long?
It's been
crazy.
5 fucking years since they've said a word to each other, and they were introduced, as buddies in Adventure 2. It's so annoying. It is so fucking annoying. This series just, as much as I like it, they are going to be dead in the ground before they make a character talk to someone who's not Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's rough. We should really have a redesign for Sonic and his friends to show how much they've aged over the years.
Hey, they tried it.
Oh, I've got
bad
bad news for you, buddy. They haven't aged at all, according to Sega.
No. They tried. They gave us aged up redesigns. What do you mean? Everyone loved it. It was so iconic and popular.
To be fair, the redesigns were not the part of Sonic Boom that people didn't like.
Some people didn't like the rest. But what is there not to love about scarves and wristbands and
I think the Sonic Boom redesigns were fine, honestly. I think they were chill.
I like a few of them. I'm iffy on 2, but I do like them for the most part. I wouldn't hate a redesign, but dog, we're scraping for a new render, much less a new design. It's pulling teeth to make them give us a fucking render.
There wasn't an official 3D vanilla render
until
this year.
Until fucking last month. like it's literally pulling teeth with this company to like give a render that isn't the same one from like Sonic Forces. So I don't think asking for a new design, that's like
Dude, we
that's
can't even get another pose for Marine or Tangle. They're always in the same pose.
yeah, they are going to like Marine is gonna die in that one pose, and like that's it. They'll
She's gonna
show
be
her.
engraved onto her fucking tombstone.
We'll go to like the Soul Dimension, and she's just gonna hit that pose, and then the comic's gonna end. Like,
That's how IDW ends. Okay, next one. People talk about how Silver is underused and has the most potential, but Blaze has a whole dimension with parallel characters, and we have barely seen any of them, only knowing Eggman and Tails. Technically, we don't even know Eggman's because Eggman Nega is from the future and not from an alternate dimension, apparently.
yeah, this is more of a question for you because you this is how you feel, but
I think that in terms of like untapped potential for like a main character, like a pretty big character, I think Blaze and Silver are like both up there. I
mm,
think that like Blaze is probably easier to expand upon because we already know that the Soul Dimension exists. Like they've already committed to
yeah,
something,
they
and
don't
they can
want
just
to.
expand on that.
They'll die in the
They
ground before they commit to anything on Silver. Like,
he must stay potential man.
yeah, he can't have the cool renders with Sage. Also, on the last question, this is just something that I know you won't understand, but this is for the people watching. This is like how I think IDW is gonna end. Is a picture like this, but it's gonna be uh, like Tangle, Marine, and Vanilla in their pose that they've done for the last 20 years, as everyone stands still in the same renders and same outfits. Like,
That-
for
That's an
context,
insane thing to say,
for
even out of context.
for context of that picture, for anyone who doesn't know, that's all their fucking stock renders for a funeral in the show. They just copy pasted their stock renders because they lost the animation budget was running over.
That is so fucking funny. Metal Sonic, Blaze the Cat, and Shadow the Hedgehog are all goats because they constantly equal Sonic in terms of so many things that make Sonic a force to reckon with, such as speed and combat ability. This is meaningless.
I mean, they're just cool. Like you could just say that you think they're cool, and like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they are.
You're right. This is not a hot take. This is like one of the most lukewarm takes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get slimed for this, but I like the Boom designs. It probably has to do with my first introduction to the series being Sonic Boom TV series, but I like them. I believe that Amy and Blaze need to team up in a game. That would be great, especially if they brought back characters like Honey. Also, this is a more of a lukewarm take, but I love the Hatsune Miku plus Sonic friendship Sega is currently pushing. I would personally love more of it.
I mean, yes, yeah, and yeah. I will say the Miku thing is because it's just funny to watch her interact with anyone. Like putting her in any
I
situation
actually
is
very
so
much
funny.
disagree with the Hatsune Miku Sonic friendship. They need to be pushing the Storm the Albatross
Yeah,
Hatsune
yeah,
Miku
yeah. I
friendship.
will say that was like a gold mine that Sega just couldn't touch, but they like it like I can't imagine like Ian Flynn must be kicking himself because he knows he can't reference it, but he knows everybody knows exactly like they have to, you know?
Yeah. Oh my
Um
god. What a fucking amazing clip. Like a clip for the ages,
I knew
truly.
that clip before I knew like who stormed the Albatross. Before I knew anything about Sonic, I knew the I can't see the end of the horizon clip. Um, Also for the boom designs, yeah, they're mostly fine. I think some of them are a little. They all kind of look top
I don't
heavy.
like Eggman's boom design.
Yeah,
He's like the only
he
one who I think is a downgrade.
he's reverse of what Eggman should be. He's too top heavy. He should be like bottom, like he should be shaped like an egg. Instead, he's kind of like too buff almost. Um, and yeah, Blaze and Amy could do stuff together. I think Blaze just needs to do shit. She just doesn't do anything. Give her like make her put her with a character who's not that damn rat. Like put her with anyone that's not Silver, and it'll be cool.
The fall off of the Sonic cast didn't start with the 2010s games, it started with the Dark Age games. Tails having his arc from adventure games ignored and basically being treated as Sonic's kid sidekick, Amy having her arc from SA1 ignored and being flanderized into being solely obsessed with Sonic, Knuckles having his arc from SA1 ignored and him just randomly showing up as Team Sonic's muscle without it ever being explained why he wasn't guarding the Master Emerald, Shadow being reduced to a one-note edgelord in Shadow of 5 and him joining Gun in '06, Eggman being upstaged as the main villain in nearly every game he was in. Not saying that the 2010s games didn't have issues with how they wrote the characters, they did, but the Dark Age games were just as bad with their handling of the cast as the 2010s games were. I agree with some of these. I think Knuckles was really mistreated in that era. Tails and Amy could have done a lot better, but I think Shadow and Eggman were actually handled fine for the most part in the quote unquote Dark Age.
Hmm. I think like yeah, it's a bit 50-50, but
And also, like, we're talking about like 3 games here, right? Because it's like, what is it? It's Heroes, oh
Shadow
06,
and then
which
oh
is,
06.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
and then
think
like
like
maybe Unleashed if you want to include that, like Unleashed in Colors. But like Colors is the start of that whole thing, so it's like
yeah,
4 games
I
max.
think like I think it's less that it started and more that there were signs that it was gonna go worse. And then as soon as like what people call like the like in the 2010s, that's when it hit full force. But before that it's like okay, we're still hanging on. Some characters get it worse in some games, some but they're okay in the next one. And then it's like nope, now you're just it's all you get, you know.
I don't think I fully agree with this, but I also don't fully disagree with it. So
Hmm.
like Chaotic should get a point and click style adventure in a similar vein to the Sam and Max games. No, no, no.
What are
They
those?
should get a. They should just make Ace Attorney with the Chaotics.
That is true. What is Salmon Max?
Sam and Max, they're the rabbit and the dog.
That's
I don't know.
well,
I've only seen like clips of them.
I'll just assume it's like because it says point and click style adventure game. I'm assuming something like that game like Pajama Sam where you like click around and like find little clues and
It's
stuff.
Pajama Sam for like teenagers and adults,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. I think that or just Ace Attorney would be funny. And I think like this the comedy style of Ace Attorney weirdly enough fits Sonic really well. Like the names they put as characters in that franchise I think are something that like is the same type of comedy I think Sonic would do. So I think like it's similar to like Murder of Sonic where they're like very tongue in cheek about everything. I think that style of writing fits pretty well for the my favorite crocodile or alligator, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck he is. He's a
The
crocodile.
Black Knight would be a top contender for the best Sonic game with one of the best stories and amazing character portrayals if it wasn't for the Wii motion controls bogging it down a lot of the time. Probably not number 1, but definitely top 3 or 5.
Agreed. It's a good game. It just plays like
I
ass.
haven't played it myself yet, and I don't have a Wii currently, so
I
I'll
I,
have to take
I
your word
played
for
it.
it.
It's I will say the game doesn't play that bad, but like you don't play it a lot of the time. Like you just hold forward. Like some of it's fun, but then you get to like the rival fights where you're like you're supposed to shake the Wiimote to sword fight, and it just doesn't. You just shake it, and it does it for you. You don't have to do
Yeah,
anything.
I've heard
It's
that the
rough.
sword play is genuinely not very good. Like that introduction to the game just didn't work very
If you
well.
shake it too much, the nunchuck doesn't receive, so then you have to put it back in and hope like sees it, and then you do it again, and then it's a migraine. But like the game is good. The game besides that is very good.
Rough and Tumble are such a fun duo, and I really love their speech gimmick. I don't know. I'm really lukewarm on them, honestly. They're fine, but like it's become very clear that IDW just doesn't care about them very much. So
They would have been the perfect villains for Boom because they're like absolutely god tier TV show like episode of the week villains like that like in a show like Sonic Boom or like X they would be like god tier villains because like I think they fit that style
they
of
do
writing.
clear Scratch and Grounder pretty easily.
Yeah.
I agree that Shadow is a cool character. Despite this, I can't help but hold a grudge against him for all of his spotlight. Year of Shadow Sonic Forces, Episode Shadow, Sonic Boom, Sonic X, the entirety of the 2000s hyping him up. And that's not even getting into the countless fan works like SMBZ and Nazo, treating Shadow like the character besides Sonic that actually matters. And don't get me started on everyone taking the whole Ultimate Life form so literally. Meanwhile, we have an entire cast of characters left on the sidelines in favor of this one outdated Lancer of a character. I think this is slightly. I mean, like Sonic Boom wasn't even that nice to Shadow. Like I
For
feel like Shadow has gotten more than a lot of the side characters, not necessarily deservedly, but I feel like this is
I
going a
just
bit too far.
I need you to see the dichotomy of man in the next one right below it, just real fast, like the one with the curvy picture.
If your favorite character isn't Shadow the Hedgehog, you're just trying to be different, or you grew up with the 2010s Shadow.
So a dichotomy of man in one image right here. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's that deep. It I would love if other characters get the spotlight, but like they don't wanna, so it's not Shadow's fault, I guess. Like, it's fine. He's cool at least.
Yeah, I do think they should put more emphasis on some non-Shadow characters, and also Shadow is not the best character in the franchise. Blaze is, so the Kirby profile pic is incorrect.
Well,
But thank you for giving me money. The little star
you're
emoji I
wrong.
remember.
You're wrong, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand these. I believe Knuckles can beat Shadow in a fight. All the time I keep seeing Sonic movie this, Sonic X that. Shadow gets hard carried by his chaos abilities. Not saying he can't fight, but he definitely has a reliance on them. I full disagree
I
with this. I
mean,
think
we
that
saw we
Shadow
saw him
is
like
like
throwing hands in Dark Beginnings with Emerald, and like he was beating his ass. So I think he could fight. It's just like, why, if you have a gun, why not use it? It's kind of like, he's like, if you
so
can chaos control, why not? Make your life
so
easier.
here's the thing, right? Sonic and Shadow are probably the strongest characters in the series just because they're the only ones who we've seen do chaos control. We haven't seen No, we have seen Silver do it, so that's not true. So it's Sonic, Shadow, and Silver are probably, unfortunately, the strongest just because of that. If you want to discount that and just say anyone with a super form is in that tier, that's fine. But like Knuckles doesn't have a super form, and if you want to get into like the nerdy fight power scaling shit, like Shadow has so many better arguments than Knuckles does. Like I think that Knuckles and Shadow are on the same tier, but like it's hard to make sense of like Shadow's inhibitor rings and what that means for his power level, because you could argue that like Shadow should be stronger than Sonic if he took off his inhibitor rings or whatever, but like I don't know. It's a mess, and I just think that we should all say that all the Sonic rival tier characters are about as strong as each other, because that's what is most consistent with how they're usually portrayed.
Hmm.
More stories on other characters aside from Sonic and Shadow. Females are still not utilized as they should be. O6 Shadow is the best portrayal of his character.
Hmm. First one, I mean, yeah, I think everyone wants that. Second one, yeah, like, but that's kind of just every character. Like, guy or girl, the Sonic characters are shafted if they're not Sonic or Shadow. Third one, mm,
I,
I don't
I really
know.
don't agree with that. I do like O6 Shadow is probably the best written character in that game, but that is a very low bar. Like
Yeah, it's like he can be the best one in that game, but it's still not like groundbreaking. It's like you're not
Like, are we
like,
really saying that this is better than like what is it, Sonic 3 Shadow, like the movie, or saying it's better than Shadow Gens? Like,
yeah, like,
I honestly think the original ending to Frontiers is better than the true ending. Starfall Sonic is just a bland transformation to me, and Sage's sacrifice made the base ending feel way more impactful.
I think that excluding the fact that it is, you are playing um Galaga and not a Sonic boss fight for most of it, which sucks. I think that I'm trying to think, because I
The thing is, I
disagree, because
think
I think
I
it's
think quote
cooler.
unquote true ending, which I don't know if it's which one is
We don't know
supposed to be
is
the
yet.
canon
No,
ending yet.
no,
But
we don't.
like, I think part of the reason why it was like Final Horizon was so well liked, beyond like fixing a couple plot holes, is that I think gameplay wise it just added so much to the experience, right? Like it just
Yeah,
let you do so much more. You got to play as characters besides Sonic. It had a boss fight that like didn't completely suck, you know. So it was
yeah.
just like, and I think we
Um,
do learn a lot lore wise from it. That's like pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, and I get if you don't like Sonic. I'm not crazy on it either, but I do think it is neat that they're trying new things with the super forms compared to like, just every single game being kind of similar. Like, I think it's neat. Especially when the whole point of the game is talking about like the Chaos Emeralds and what they're from, what like where they're from and all that. So, I don't know.
Okay, okay, wait. We have a long one here. Here's my hot take. Silver is overrated by the fan base. Some of y'all like to claim Sonic and Shadow overrated, but they really aren't. They're legitimately fun and good characters who have changed and positively impacted the franchise. They have widespread appeal and importance. Silver doesn't. Silver is carried by the hype he gets from fans and the little good moments he got in the IDW comics. Silver's role in placing the series is so weird too. He's from the future, yet he spends more time in the present and shows up in both the games and the comics for really half-assed reasons. We also really don't know much about his story post '06. His character lacks direction. I feel like he works as a situational character whose design only shows up when it ties into his future. His powers are overhyped too. Just because he has psychic powers doesn't mean he beats everyone. We don't know the extent or limits of how his powers works, and people go around making false or unconfirmed claims about him. Also, stop asking for a Year of Silver. A Year of Silver would probably flop. I doubt even a Silver game would work at this point. He needs to have a proper role in the games before any of that. I'm not here to shit on Silver. He's an alright character, but the reason he's hyped up so much is because of his potential. Silver does have potential and is fairly underused. That turned from genuine interest, seeing how he would star in a future game or role, to some of his fans giving him extreme overpraising.
I will say most of this is true. I think that one, he does not get shit from IDW. What people like is from Archie.
No, replace this with Archie.
Yeah,
and then they're
that's
facts.
Yeah, like that's just not true. It's Archie. Like that's all I ever hear about. I think that one aspect is, I guess two aspects about the whole Year of Silver thing. I cannot hear the Year of Silver without thinking of that one meme that's like Sega after making Year of Silver. $7? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
But I think
do
that people
think
have seen
that
nowadays.
A Silver game could actually work.
Nowadays that we've seen the idea of like Silver in a world where Sage is ruling is like such a fascinating idea. Like that entire campaign has like completely turned me around on like the potential he could have. Like, man, this would be so cool. The saddest part is I know we're never getting it, so you're completely right until that happens.
Yeah. Heartbreaking. Potential man actually does have potential.
Literally. But I mean, yeah, it is kind of an issue of like I think a lot of characters in Sonic like direction where they kind of just don't know what to do with them. Silver's just one of the better examples because people actually want to like him, but then you see that they're just not going to do like if like Rouge the Bad is directionless. Most people don't care, but like they constantly bring back Silver and make a big deal out of him, and it's like whatever, like it's either poorly written or it's like I don't care because he's not that interesting. But
one thing I wanna hit on that they're so right about is that his powers being overhyped. It's crazy how many people will swear up and down like it's as bad as the Shadow Glazers, but at least the Shadow Glazers kind of have a point because like Shadow was hyped up at one point as being stronger than Sonic, and so like there's some inconsistencies where like you could say that without his inhibitor rings he should be stronger than Sonic or whatever. There's no argument for Silver being the strongest character in the franchise. Like there just isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a lot of them here. Amy Rose's love of Sonic is the least interesting aspect of her character. How she acts in the current games and comics, highlighting traits such as her kindness, is far better than most of her other appearances where she was obsessed with Sonic. I actually really like Lanolin as a character. The Deadly Six could be interesting characters if they were given a redesign and a second major appearance in a game. I am done with classic Sonic games. We can still have him appear in merchandise and stuff, but I think the franchise should stay away from classic style games. I also think that the classic exclusive characters should be put into the modern games. We should give Knuckles a reason as to why he is always leaving Angel Island. Something as simple as Tails setting up a defense system with the Master Emerald could work. I also think he should get new powers to make him on par with Sonic and Shadow. Super Sonic 2 / Cyber Sonic is cooler than Hyper Sonic. I think everyone should get redesigns and new models.
Well, that one we already talked about. So like I think like going through the ones that in order, it's like the first one, yeah, probably. I never cared for Amy, but I do like that they're doing something new with her.
I think she's gotten a lot better more recently.
Yeah. I know you love Lanolin. I'm not crazy on Lanolin, but
I
I
like
her.
Lanolin. I think she was overhated, but
Yeah.
they kind of shot her character in the foot.
It's like
I'll
it's
never forgive issue 76.
the rough thing about Lanolin is the fact that like the people who really hate her, you can't like argue like you be like, oh, you shouldn't hate her, you just should just dislike her because they don't do anything fucking with her, and like she's one of the characters that her ass is never showing up again as long as like because like people don't like her and she doesn't have a lot to do and it's a bit frustrating. I think she could be cool.
She's gonna show up in IDW again, but she's just like
she's gonna be a background character for the rest of time. But Deadly Six we
She
already
was
talked
already a
about.
background character. That's how she
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, she'll be even more background. Deadly Six
Dude, if
though we
she
already
actually
talked
doesn't
about.
show up again, I'm gonna be so pissed.
She'll show up. That theory I said where they'll make a Restoration HQ base on Angel Island, and her ass is living on that island the rest of her life. Like,
Okay, that would actually not be terrible, because we'll see her as much as we see Knuckles then.
well, no,
So
no, because then Knuckles can get his game where he leaves the island, and then it's like, oh, where, oh, Lanolин's on it, and they just never see her again. um, the
you literally are arguing for fridging a character.
hey, it's not fridging. She'll be alive. She just never. That's it. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
what's the fourth one? Done with Classic Sonic? Yeah, I agree. I don't. Although I will say I don't enjoy the gameplay of Classic Sonic that much, so I don't care if they don't make new games. I
Same.
think like I don't mind if they make like I think Mania is the main thing. People love it, and people I don't know. I don't know if they liked the Superstar game actually. I never heard a word about it. But like I
Superstars was okay. People like Trip, but I think the classic exclusive characters is super dumb.
yeah, then we like give them like give the like Trip and Fang and them give them like I guess teenage designs since that's I guess or like modern designs and like let them be seen again. It'd be cool. And then what was
Yeah.
the fifth and sixth? We should give Knuckles a
Uh,
thing. Yeah, I mean just let Knuckles do shit. It'd be cool. And then six, I agree because I think I like the idea that it's a trade off like cyber Sonic there's a trade-off to him being stronger rather than it's just a new form. Like I don't like if it's just Dragon Ball
yeah.
rules where every form is stronger than the last with no like downside.
Yeah, I definitely I agree with most of these. Yeah, I think basically all of these are true. Maria should be utilized more often, along with other human characters like Professor Pickle. Think I just like seeing human characters as it just adds to the world. This is true. They've already like they established that humans exist in the world. Pretending like they don't is just really dumb.
Yeah, I think Maria probably could be seen less, just since we just had like a whole thing with her twice. But I agree. Just let us see where like people are instead of just randomly referencing like Spagania or whatever.
Let Gun be imported again.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't even know if Gun exists in canon because they've just not been seen for
They
like
do.
20
We saw them in
years.
Dark Beginnings. Like it's only been a couple years since then at
Well,
most. Like what the.
Dark Beginnings is like a flashback. Like
You
it's
know, yeah, but they were around as of Generations, and
they're
like
like
it
barely
hasn't been that
useful.
many games since Generations. It's been like what Lost World Forces, Frontiers, like.
I just had a really cool idea of like a fan thing someone could do, which is a like horror themed thing of Omega going through a gun base during the metal virus as as like the gun soldiers are infected or whatever. So it's like a zombie thing. That'd be cool. Never gonna happen. Like it'd be a cool like fan thing, I guess, because like
Can you imagine Ultra Kill, but it's like Omega killing Black Arms or whatever?
that'd be cool, but never gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately.
Sonic Heroes is genuinely the greatest 3D platformer ever made. Dude, Sonic Heroes isn't even the best Sonic game.
Guy who's only played one 3D platformer. God, I'm getting I'm getting a lot of Sonic 4 Heroes vibe from this. Um,
Yeah, literally.
play.
Like, it,
My response is play another 3D platformer, and there you go, Chief.
like, I think Shadow Generations is better. I would argue that Sonic Frontiers is probably a better game.
I think
You
even
could. I
excluding
would know. I know
Sonic,
people would argue SA1 and 2 are better, but they have a lot of jank that I think Heroes did fix. So
I think
there's
I
a
think
trade-off there.
even excluding like Sonic, I think like Mario Galaxy and Hat in Time are both way better games.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I definitely don't agree with this.
I don't know.
I think
Branch out,
that.
play other games, but at least you like it. If you like it, that's cool.
I mean, I do think Heroes is a overhated game. I think Sonic Heroes is pretty good,
Mm.
honestly. There's a lot I like about it, but it's not the greatest 3D platformer ever made. Like, come on.
God's gift to gamers was Sonic Heroes.
IDW Sonic might have the best stories in the franchise. I can't say I agree with this just because I haven't read all of Archie and Fleetway yet, and I want to see where those go. But I do think that IDW Sonic has the best stories, like out of it and the canon games, like all the canon material. I do think it beats them out.
It's
Yeah.
it's up every anything Ian Flynn's pen has touched has been like the best stuff of the series, and I think it's pretty
Well, okay,
consistent.
Stanley wrote a lot of it too, and I think there are
Okay,
some other people who
that
work on it.
anyone who the IDW anything the IDW crew's pen touched. I just say Flynn because he's the one whose name I remember first.
Yeah.
But they write good stories.
Well, I'd love for the Freedom Fighters, mostly Bunny, to come back in some way and see how they interact with the current cast. It'd be very difficult to implement them. They need their roles to be reworked to fit into the current canon without conflicting with another character's role or retconning in lore and relationships, to the point someone was not feeling like the same character anymore. Rotor was already sidelined in Archie, especially once Tails was firmly characterized as a genius mechanic. And a lot of what Bunny has going for her overlaps with the Metal Virus arc or the abilities and personalities / relationships of others, such as Knuckles' strength. It could be interesting to tell a story of how the Acorn Kingdom fared during and after Forces, though, and how that affected a hypothetical IDW Sally, assuming they even keep her as a princess. This is just extremely true, I think. I think the Freedom Fighters are interesting characters to think about in a lot of ways, and they are growing on me as I've started reading through Archie, but like they would just be a nightmare to try and make canon at this point. Like,
I don't know a lot about them. I just know that like I think the way they would probably do it is they would just make them random members of Restoration and just maybe explore them every now and again because it's
honestly, at this point, what I would want them to do is to say, boom, a hole opens in reality. The Freedom Fighters from like reboot Archie fall through, portal closes, that's it. Like, just go read reboot Archie, fellas. Like, Dr. Starline and Mimic are overrated as villains because after a while they just get boring. And this means I hope they don't bring Dr. Starline or Mimic back. Rough and Tumble are underrated. You can't say that Dr. Starline and Mimic get boring after a while.
they
But Rough
die.
and Tumble
Yeah.
are like
Well, yeah, they get boring. They die. Like they're out of the story once they. I think like I don't know how Mimic. I guess I kind of can agree to that. Starline though, I think he only gets better up till the point he dies, where you just see this man just go fucking mental. He's so cool. Um, but I don't know, and I agree. Rough and Tumble are a little underrated. I think they're cool. They've like barely been in the comic, but like they're neat.
yeah, I think Mimic. Saying Mimic is overrated is crazy because I think most people don't like him.
And
But I think Dr.
I
Starline
have
kind of
heard
has earned
like
the hype.
consistent people like consistently disliking Mimic, which is weird to say he's overrated. I'd say anything he's like adequately liked, where some people
He's
like
just
him.
rated.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just rated. Some people like him, some people really don't like him, but like it's whatever.
many people say they want Mephiles back in the franchise and to be the main villain again, or to be a main villain again. I want that to happen too, but I hardly see anyone talking about Iblis, even though he's supposed to be as important as Mephiles in the story. He's basically Mephiles' other half and doesn't even seem to be remembered for that. I understand that Mephiles was the one who planned and manipulated the characters in Sonic 06, but Iblis is literally the entity who single-handedly destroyed the future and is the ultimate threat that Silver and Blaze wanted to stop. If Iblis at least had more screen time to show his personality, I believe he would be more remembered by fans. What personality?
He's
Another
just
thing,
kind of a
I've always thought the
monster.
idea of Blaze versus Iblis was interesting. If Iblis doesn't return as the main villain alongside Mephiles, then it would be interesting to see something about him and Blaze in the future, because Blaze being the character who managed to absorb Iblis is quite a feat. I can imagine them having an Eddie Brock and Venom style relationship. Or maybe Iblis could be a villain for Blaze like Mephiles was for Shadow. So the thing is that Iblis is just a big fire monster. Like, that's it. It doesn't do anything.
Like
right? Like,
he's kind of just like a mindless like goop guy, which is like I guess that's fine, but I don't know.
I mean, if they bring back Mephiles in a big way, it would make sense to bring back Iblis, and I think that at this point, like, I think Flynn would, or would at least explain why Iblis isn't here if Mephiles comes back. But
Yeah.
like,
In like a
Iblis,
sizable
Iblis
role.
doesn't have like a character, you know?
Yeah, he's a situation. He's what they needed to write Blaze out of the story.
Knuckles should be more main stage than any other Sonic rival, like in Sonic X.
All
I
all
don't
we're
really
learning
agree with
today is there's a lot of people who ride for Knuckles. Like
this. It's game apologist influence.
yeah, like you go guys. Like yeah, fight for Knuckles to be in every game. Like that's cool.
Fight for your man, okay?
Yeah, like, fuck
I
it.
don't agree with this. I do think he needs way more because at this point he's like a Blaze tier Sonic rival, and that is not okay.
Yeah.
Like he should definitely get more love, but I don't know. Sonic Tails Amy is a better trio than Sonic Tails Knuckles. Instantly, you're correct. Like, I'm sorry, but Tails and Amy have way more chemistry than Tails and Knuckles. Tails and Knuckles barely even get to interact since both would usually be talking to Sonic rather than each other. They weirdly feel more like friends by association than actual friends compared to Tails and Amy.
I agree in the main series, but I love what the movies did with Knuckles and like how he's like the older brother to them. I think that that is
Yeah.
really great, but the games ain't gonna do that, and the games just kind of don't do anything.
I also think that we've kind of moved away from the whole like teams of three idea, and now we definitely have like more of a quartet. You know, it's like Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, right?
Well,
It's the big four,
I
not the
mean,
big three.
I think everyone else is still in teams of three. I think it's just that they don't want to have to pick and choose Amy or Knuckles. They're like, oh, we'll just put them both on the same team. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Because like
yeah.
every
Because like I
other
think I,
character is
like
in teams of three except exactly them. Like they just had to be different.
I do think like Sonic Heroes would have been way cooler if the teams were like Sonic, Tails, Amy. Amy was the power type for their team, and like then we had like and then like Knuckles teamed up with the Chaotix, and I don't know.
We just
Uh,
kill Vector the Crocodile. Got it.
yeah, we just he just dies, and Charmy and SBO are investigating his murder, and that's how they
Yeah,
get
yeah. We
involved in the
just
plot.
Marty McFly Vector. Like he's just gone. Like they find a picture of him, and as the story proceeds, he starts fading out of it. Like
Sonic Forces wasn't that bad of a game. I
you know,
I see a weird amount of Forces
I
love.
I
I
do
haven't like
shoot like
played much Forces myself.
I did not enjoy it. I think it's a very boring game to play. It always shocks me when I see people who like shoot for forces because I just don't think they played the game. It's not very or like they've not played another good game. It's like
I think Knuckles Chaotix needs a remake.
probably I've never played it, and I think it'd be cool to just or
I
just give them a
honestly
new
like.
game. Really, like
I think it just needs a port, honestly.
yeah.
Like Knuckles Chaotix does not look like a super interesting
Honestly,
game, honestly.
what they could do is give like the Chaotix a new game, like, and then have because because like we just revealed a Chaotix game to come out in November, and then and it's like all right, in the summer we're gonna remaster Knuckles Chaotix so that way you can play that again or just port it. I think that'd be the best way to do it so people can play it again and also get new material with these characters, kind of like the comic book they're getting.
This is such a weird one. I never really like whenever they have Silver's dad be Shadow. They usually have either Amy or Rouge be the mother. Like there's no way in hell they're going to last 300 years or something like that. Speaking of Shadow being the father, I never brought into that theory more times than not. It's really because Trunks was Vegeta's son in the future and Silver and Shadow are similar to them. And there's like a bunch of other
I think
ones
you
here. 90% of Sonic ships shouldn't be canon. That's definitely true. I never liked any ships with Metal Sonic at all. I think the fandom has an annoying habit of calling any ships they don't like sibling coded. I just can't prove it. I'm kind of glad Sonic 3 got rid of people mistaking Sonic for Shadow Plot and SA2. Like, that only works if you buy into that Gun was using Sonic as a scapegoat theory, but even then, there's cracks in that.
I think you like fanfics, like, and the fandom a little too much, but I don't know.
Claire, I literally have a video where the thumbnail is Blaze and Amy doing sloppy makeouts. We can't come down too hard on this guy.
Yeah, yeah, it's like that's not the problem here. The problem is you, but I don't know. I think that like I don't think you got to worry about us making Sonic ships canon. I think Sega will be fucking dead in the grave before they ever say anything. It'll be like the Mario thing where they're like, "Nope, just buddies." It's like, "Okay, well,
Forces is a better game than all of the games in the Dark Age era. At worst, I find Forces to be average but enjoyable. The Dark Age games, at worst, are just unplayable and frustrating. The only two games I would say are better than Forces are Unleashed and Rush. Okay, so you've already proven that you're wrong. It's not better than all of the games. If you think Unleashed and Rush are better
well,
than it,
what are the Dark Age games? It's oh 06 Shadow and
it's
Heroes
I think
or oh,
Heroes to Unleashed, and the Rush games came out at that point too. So it's like Heroes, Shadow, Rush, '06 Rush, Adventure, and Unleashed.
yeah, no. I think most of those are better games than Forces. I think that like yeah, most of those are just like better. I think it's like '06 is worse, yeah, but I don't know. I think like almost every other game in that list is better. Even if I don't like colors that much, I think the gameplay's at least not that bad.
Your random deep cut fave character probably isn't even that cool or fun as a character. The act of wishing for their representation in current Sonic content is probably more fun for these kinds of fans rather than if their niche faves actually get represented.
So this is just like
I
if you like Archie Sonic, you should die. You are like if you want the if that guy up above who wanted the freedom fighters back, yeah, fuck you in particular. Um,
I
but
mean, unfortunately, they're kind of right, but they shouldn't say it.
yeah, that's just mean. Um, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think an issue is just like, dog, we barely get representation for the characters we already have, and you want them to add 10 more. Like,
I think Mania is kind of overrated. I love the game, but it's not the best game in the franchise. It's in the top 10, but not number one. Also, I think Sonic 2 is better than Sonic 3, but Sonic and Knuckles is better than Sonic 2. Uh, they're the same game. I don't know.
I like
That's a really weird thing to say.
I I'm kind of lost. I always just pair them together because they are just the same game. But
Yeah, it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like, what?
yeah. Also, I think Mania is overrated. I can see that. I think it's a little overrated, but I think it's like it's how okay. This is gonna sound insane, but Mania to me is how people describe Toss format in Yu-Gi-Oh, where they're like, "Oh, it's so good, it's insane, it fixed the series, it fixed the format," and it's like, no, you were just playing the worst games ever made for 4 years straight, and then you were given a really decent meal, and you're like, oh my god, this is like the best thing I've ever had.
I have to explain this, or you have to explain this, because there's
Yeah,
no way
yeah.
anybody watching this video is gonna understand.
Toss and Yu-Gi-Oh is a format that is fairly popular. It used to be way more popular, and the reason, in my opinion, it was popular is for about 4 years before that, the game was unplayable, and then the game is playable again. And people are like, oh my god, this is the best thing we've ever had. This is like I'm eating for the first time. It's not that it was good. Everything else was terrible. Like you get like your first meal after like years of scraps. It doesn't make it a gourmet meal. It's just anything at that point. But
I do think Mania is legitimately a pretty well done 2D Sonic game, but the people who act like it's the second coming of God are like, they're exaggerating a little bit. Blaze is stronger than Silver. True. The IDW comics are mediocre as hell. Poor pacing, lack of proper world building, lack of real stakes outside of the Metal Virus. Characters like Sonic are out of character. Mid OCs I don't care about. These comics are a boring snooze fest. I believe most only like these comics because they're safe and inoffensive compared to some of the Archie comics. Dude, it's so true. Remember the person earlier who was like, the only reason people shit on IDW is because it's not Archie? Like,
yeah,
oh my god! You are in the wrong comment section, buddy. Like, I think the IDW comics are genuinely really good. Sonic is not at all out of character. That's a complete, like, just completely made up thing. Saying that, saying that the OCs, like, I assume you're an Archie fan from the context of this comic. Saying that the OCs in IDW are mid compared to the Archie comics is insane. The lack of proper world building, I do think, is accurate, and the pacing, I don't think is that bad. I think the
I
pacing's fine.
I
There are
think the
definitely
world
some
building issue
problems, but
is more of a Sonic issue that Sega doesn't want to build a world. Like
yeah, exactly.
it's not like IDW has a problem where they are stuck at world building. It's that like Sega like John Sega himself will shoot Ian Flynn in the head if he writes that the planet is called Mobius. So it's like everywhere has to be an ambiguous location or has to be something from a game or like and they just do not want to make a world. It's like less that they're they can't, it's less that they're making a bad, like they're doing poor world building, and more that they're not allowed to, which is like
yeah.
more of a Sega issue than I think an IDW issue. It's that they want Sonic
I
to
mean, to be
infinitely
fair,
be this.
the end result is the same. The end
Yeah,
result
yeah,
is
I mean
that
it
the
is.
IDW comics don't have good world building, but I don't think it's like an issue with the writing.
I would describe it as IDW suffers because like they're not allowed to build a world rather than they're doing poor world building, and it's like, or like,
Yeah, and that's the end of it.
wow.
Honestly, I think a lot of these were kind of medium takes.
A lot of
And
y'all
the
are
ones that were hot
shooters for
takes were
Knuckles.
kind of just wrong a lot of the time.
Yeah, your comments got a lot of like shooters for Knuckles. You guys love him. It's fair. He's cool, but there's like,
He's like, it is true when one of the comments said that he's been so like he's been done dirty more than anybody else. I think that's very true if you compare it to like his level of importance in the series versus how he's been treated recently. It's so bad.
mhm,
Like it's so dire.
yeah. So like the moral of the story, all of y'all just want more Sonic games that aren't about Sonic and Shadow, and I can't hate that. Like, truth be told.
I want less Sonic in my Sonic the Hedgehog game. True.
True. He's right. He's cooking.
You can't hate. He's right. All right.